Well, thank you for being part of the Tyler Glen Show, the show about food, fun places, and the mayhem of life. Today on the show, it's International Women's Day 2023. We're going to introduce you to some fabulous women in our community as we get set for the Women of Distinction Awards coming up. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, Shelley. And good morning, Kim. There is a $10,000 initiative underway to help the Women's Resource Center, and of course, being International Women's Day, we'll talk a little bit about that. Fun places. Oh man, we've got our buddy Jack in Cuba right now. Jack and his family are in Cuba, in Veradero, and he reached out yesterday. He said, hey, share some pictures. By all means, we're going to do that. That's what the show is all about. Food. Also reaching out to me yesterday, a local barbecue expert from west of me. This guy is cooking up some insane food. Good morning, Deb. Bacon wrapped Oreos? Yeah, we've got lots of fun, lots of frivolity, and lots of food, fun places, and the mayhem of life. Thanks for joining the Tyler Glen Show on International Women's Day. We start off with some weather news this morning, and it has to deal with a system that's moving into our area, and it's going to bring with it some snow. Gaetan, good morning. We've got some snow coming into the area, and that is going to start today. Let's take a look outside at downtown Winnipeg. There's a live shot. You can see on the weather radar, we've got some blue showing up. That blue is going to get bigger in the coming days, and of course, I'll be here. We'll go through this together. We'll keep an eye on the roads for you and the snowfall amounts. Now, there's differing models saying that we could get between 10 and 20 centimeters in southwestern part of the province, and now in the Red River Valley, they're saying 10 to 30 centimeters, which is to the east of where I am. Regardless, the snow is coming in 3 waves. Wave 1 is today, just a minor system that we're seeing on the radar there right now. The second system is late Thursday, and then the third one, the one that is concerning the weather people the most, is the one coming Saturday. And that could bring the one with the biggest punch. So Kim says, no, warm thoughts, remember? Yes, that is what we do. Warm thoughts. We're in the beach bunker. We're in our little bubble. I'm going to introduce you to the Calypso Beach today. That's going to be our beach cam, because we can't be with Jack in Veradero. Unfortunately, Cuba doesn't have any live beach cams. And so we have to do the next best thing. And the next best thing is going to be Calypso Beach. And that's okay. We'll do that. Michelle says, shh, let's not talk about the snow. I know. We're going to get through this. And here's the thing is they're not always right. We have to relay the information brought on by the experts. And there is some fierce debate going on online right now about how much snow is going to come. So, maybe it'll be 10 centimeters. I don't know. Some models, though, are saying 30. So there's a lot of instability with these three systems. And we saw this last year, didn't we? Wasn't it 4 systems that hit us? Bang! And then a day's rest. And then bang! And then we got hit again. Boom! It was just like a kick in the groin and then a punch to the stomach and a kick to the groin. So we just have to be ready for what is coming. Kim, I want to be on the beach so bad too. Oh yeah, maybe temperatures aren't too bad. Let's take a look at that. Start with the wind chill this morning. Here's how things look across North America as far as leaving the house and how chilly it is. And the actual air temperature looks like this. There's our air temperature this morning. And the weather radar, as I mentioned, is showing a little bit of precipitation that is getting set to move into our area. Winnipeg is seeing just some very, very light snow right now. If this radar was just a little bit bigger, you would see in North Dakota, that system is much, much bigger to the south. They are going to get 30-plus centimeters in both North and South Dakota. So there's a lot of snow headed that way. Wow. International Women's Day today. We are going to introduce you to some amazing local women in southern Manitoba in just a moment. But first, to some breaking news involving travel, because we're about food and fun places and the mayhem of life. And travel always means fun places. Almost always. Unfortunately, in the last 24 hours, one of our most fun places, Mexico, has become a bit of a dangerous place. It's always a good idea to know your surroundings, be very, very careful, regardless of the country you travel to. But I don't have to tell you that in the headlines, just in the last 24 hours, 2 Americans that have been killed in Mexico. 4 were kidnapped. We are hearing this morning that the other 2 have been returned. So that's a bit of good news. But the U.S. State Department is warning travelers about traveling to Mexico. Here is the latest this morning.
Trucks, buses burning.
Apparently, they pulled the man out of the truck and set the cab on fire to block the road.
After last weekend's deadly violence and new threats from drug cartels, the U.S. government now is reissuing a travel warning about multiple areas of Mexico. The warning comes as thousands of Southern Californians travel to Mexico.
Well, and Canadians are going to spring break. The spring break's coming.
For the second weekend.
No, it is not so safe.
Of the huge Baja Beach Fest on the sand in Rosarito. Amanda Gosling and her friends were there last weekend and were worried about what was unfolding just a few miles away.
And I drove, so I was really scared that I was going to be stuck there, especially it being my first time driving and just being like a foreign country. I was really afraid.
The U.S. Department of State is urging Americans to reconsider travel.
So they're really concerned about the border communities. And in this instance, this is KTLA in Los Angeles. And so obviously Tijuana is right underneath L.A. They're concerned about vacationers traveling to those areas. Where these 4 Americans were abducted is south of Texas, where my folks actually just came back from. We have some listeners that are in. Oh, this is a great map. Hang on a second. I'm going to pause that for a second. So this is the travel warning. Do not travel. This has been issued by Americans. I checked the Canadian site, and high degree of caution for Canadians traveling to Mexico, but not as serious a warning as the Americans have put out. However, if you know of somebody that is going to Mexico, it's a good idea to be vigilant all the time. Should you cancel your trip? Absolutely not. Should you be vigilant? Always. Travel in groups where you can. Be in contact with people at the resort to know the situation of where you're traveling to. This is an excellent map to have a look at the hotspots of where there is some challenges right now. And if you are going to be up in the Sinaloa region, be very, very careful. Cabo is looks to be a little bit better. And if Huatulco is down in the very, very southern part, but it is definitely a concerning time again, especially with spring break coming. So something just to keep in mind this morning, because that is obviously big, big news. That does not happen very often, where you have somebody jumping across the border, they get kidnapped, and then, oh my God, the worst happens. They're killed. In those border communities, it is very common for citizens to jump across and get dental work, get prescriptions filled. These people had gone across for some cosmetic surgery. I think they were from the Carolinas, and something happened. Driving across the Mexican border is not something I would recommend. Even people who visit in Southern California, Southern Texas, in Arizona, they drive to the border, then you walk by foot across a bridge, generally a secure area, and you don't go far into the country. You know, it's the further down into the country you go, chances are you're flying. And it's just safer that way. So be safe, be vigilant, be aware that this is going on. And my advice to you is just be careful and be aware of your surroundings. Should you stay up at night? No. Enjoy your vacation. You've saved for your vacation. Go have fun. Just be aware of your surroundings and know that this is the backdrop of what's happening in Mexico right now, especially the closer to the U.S. border you are. Okay? All right. Housekeeping. Good morning, Karen. Kim wants to be on the beach so bad, so do I. We're going to go to Calypso Beach in just a second. International Women's Day today. Good morning to all the women who are listening and watching the Tyler Glen Show. I have got to play for you this amazing video from Pomalto for Women. On this International Women's Day, I have found what could be the single most important message delivered by some very influential and powerful female celebrities. Good morning, Jude. Good morning, Laurie. Happy International Women's Day. This is absolutely awesome. Have a listen and look at this.
Be grateful for who you are today.
Being grateful means
being present.
Everything we have overcome.
Every obstacle, every challenge.
Our past has made us so strong.
I know it's made me strong.
But what really matters is who we decide to be today.
To be kinder, more generous, more forgiving, more empathetic.
接纳包容一切，让一切更有可能性，这才是女性的力量。
We strive.
We yearn.
We want.
We get so easily distracted, and only when we are facing the abyss,
we realize that what really matters was always inside of us.
I have wasted so much time always trying to be perfect.
I'm a huge fan
You
of her.
do not need to be perfect. Actually, perfect is kind of
And her.
boring, don't you think?
就是接纳自我，你的内心才会更加的笃定。
Jane
you need to
Fonda
be
says.
present.
Being present means accepting who we really are.
Yes.
Your true voice, your true self.
Getting to know our demons and taming them.
That is a journey we all have to go through.
You are not alone.
Non sei da sola.
An award.
The new job.
A new role.
Those are all great achievements.
But what really matters is how we got to know ourselves in that process.
How we respect ourselves and establish our boundaries.
How we manage to turn our fears into strength.
How we learn to be present.
Just remember,
You're not alone on this road.
I am here.
Here.
We are here.
Io sono qua.
Here.
Here.
I am present.
The question is, where are you?
Because I'm here for you.
We are the present. and we will rise to protect the future.
Be here now, in your present.
Because being here is the true moment of joy.
Happy International Women's Day. Pomelato,
being
caring
present
for women since 1967.
Being present, isn't that the truth? Hey? And you know what I love about that is a message for all. I have one word. Amen. Everything said there. Isn't Jane Fonda incredible? She is just amazing. I love all the movies and TV shows she's in. She's just so strong and full of, she is amazing. Jane Fonda, and she has seen a lot over the years. Is that how you politely say that she is up in age? She has seen a lot. She has been doing it for decades and still hitting it out of the park. Gaetan says, an incredible message by smart, powerful women. Happy International Women's Day. Yes, we're going to introduce you to some local women in just a moment who are part of the WMCA's Women of Distinction Awards. That's coming up tomorrow. I thought it was tonight, being Women's Day, but tomorrow is a big awards ceremony happening locally. We have a large theater in our town, Western Manitoba Centennial Auditorium, and Frankie and Gracie for Jane Fonda. No kidding. Isn't that a great show? She's amazing. So happy International Women's Day. We'll also tell you about the $10,000 initiative for the Women's Resource Center that I'd love to have you support. We're going to mention it a few times to make sure that they can get to their goal. In addition to being International Women's Day, today is March the 8th, and it's Discover What Your Name Means Day. So this is where you're supposed to look up what your name means, not the inspiration. Earlier this week, we were talking about the inspiration for your name, but today you're supposed to go probably to Google and look up what your name means. For example, Tyler is Gaelic, apparently, for layer of tiles, which makes sense because it sounds like that. Tyler, tile, layer. Layer of tiles. I'm more a layer of pipe kind of guy. Sorry. Gaetan is a male name French. Gaeta, Italy. That's very cool. It's like pal. Gaetan's name is used as a term of endearment, like pal. Misbehave in 69. Loves to misbehave. No kidding. Surprise, surprise. So discover what your name means day today. Girls' Writing Day today. Of course, International Women's Day. It is also National Peanut Cluster Day. O. Henry bars are like a peanut cluster, aren't they? Wouldn't that be the definition of a peanut cluster candy bar? The O. Henry bar? I would think so. National Proofreading Day. Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day. Oh, those dietitians. They try so hard. We love you. But Kimberly says hers means from the wood of the royal forest. Isn't that cool? That is very cool. That's why we have these days, so we can go poking around and learning stuff, I guess. Poor dietitians. Sharon says hers is of Hebrew origin, meaning fertile plain. Oh, look at that. Fertile plain and the layer of tiles. And from the wood from the royal forest. Don't we sound like we're amazingly interesting and mystical? Oh, yeah. No Smoking Day. This is mainly celebrated in the UK, but we'll celebrate it here today too. And if you are a smoker that is trying to quit, it's a hard thing to do. I did it 7 times. 7 times. I used to be a bad smoker. I was a half a pack a day guy up until 2000, and I was a late bloomer. I didn't start smoking until I was 18. I went to radio school, and everybody was smoking, and I fell in with the wrong crowd. You know, my parents did what they could until I got to 18, and then I went off to college. And I'm like, what is this? Oh, you know, everything else like that you're normally introduced to in high school, I got into, except cigarettes, because my parents smoked. I didn't want to do that. Then I got on my own. And when I got on my own, it was like, yeah, I think I'm going to try this. And I enjoyed it. It is bad news. Kim says she started smoking at 18 too. Yeah, it's bad news. So then I smoked until 2000, which I would have been, I don't know, close to 30. So it would have been about 10 years, 10 or 12 years. Ian says, you know what? I think every day should be Women's Day. They do so much for everyone. Absolutely. I love the women in my life. The women closest to me, I should mention this morning. I should, whoops, I almost knocked that over. Of course, my lovely wife, Tracy. My mom, whose name is Lana. My sister, whose name is Miranda. My daughter, whose name is Liberty. And who else do I know? Well, and of course you. Amber. Look at this. Amber is 16 years smoke-free. And it's very hard to do. You know, 7 times I tried to smoke, and one of the things that helped me was putting a pack of cigarettes in my fridge. That sounds stupid, but it worked. It was one of the little ones, those half packs, sealed in the plastic, but I put it on the door of the refrigerator, and it sat there looking at me every time I went into the fridge, saying, okay, you want to go back? You want to go? I'm right here. I'm right here. Now, 6 times, that didn't work too good because my willpower wasn't right there. But then on the 7th try, I got it, and it stuck. And then a month turned into a year. And then it turned into 5 years, and now it's 23 years, I guess. But somebody once asked me, do you ever lose that craving to have a cigarette? It takes a long time, but you know, you do forget the craving. However, I still, on a hot summer day or on a beach vacation, will be standing next to somebody who will light up a cigarette. And you'll, oh yeah. Then it all comes flooding back to you. You go, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And then you remember that you're alive. And I love my bacon. I love my cheeseburgers. And I love my tequila. I've convinced myself I can have 2 of the 3, okay? Because if I was a tequila drinking, cheeseburger eating, heavy smoker, there'd be no Tyler Glen show. I would be gone already. I would not be here. Kim says the smell of smoke people miss, I notice when they quit. I've quit 5 years, says Marg. That is awesome. Coming up in October. Congratulations, Margaret, on 5 years. I still dream about it once in a while after 15 years. And I do love the smell of American cigarettes. Ooh, I forgot about that, Gaetan. Yeah, Marlboros used to be. Marlboros and Camel. Misbehaving says, well, I'm not a quitter. People don't like quitters. Nah, you'll eventually get there, though. It's not if, it's when. Really, it's not if, it's when. No pressure. No judgment. You do what you want. I do what I want. I'm tequila and cheeseburgers, and likely I'm going to have to quit one of those things someday, but not today. So I understand what you're saying. No smoking day. And finally, it's National Be Nasty Day before we say goodbye to our social media friends. Sharon says, I started smoking 83, 84, quit in 94. So it was almost like me, just different years. Amber says, I can't handle the smell anymore. 0 craving left. Oh, good for you. No, the smell, I like the smell. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, I don't want to sit next to a smoker on a park bench for 3 hours and have my clothes smell. I'm just saying that I'll be having drinks in the backyard. Maybe the next door neighbor is lighting up something and you just go, oh, yeah. Sharon says she hates the smell too. National Be Nasty Day. Be nasty. Coming up later on the Tyler Glen Show, the show about food, fun places, and the mayhem of life, I'm going to introduce you to a local barbecue expert who has reached out to me with his local barbecue insanity. And if you're in the Virden area, you might know this guy. If you're in the western part of Manitoba, you might know this guy. We'll introduce you to him. That's food. Fun places. Jack and his family are in Cuba. We'll get to go there and take a look at some of his shots. That's coming up. And the mayhem of life, as I'd mentioned, it's Be Nasty Day. Be nasty. Yeah, Be Nasty Day. And I've got two incredibly nasty bits for you. The nasty habits people admit to doing behind closed doors. If you aren't on Twitch right now, you got to come on over, because some of these are so shocking that people actually do this behind closed doors. And I've got it for you. The nasty habits. People openly admit, okay, today is the day. We're going to admit that we do this behind closed doors. I've got that coming up. And the story about a woman who caught her future husband being breastfed by his own mother right before the wedding ceremony. Is this real? It is. I have the story because it's nasty. And it's Be Nasty Day. On the Tyler Glen Show, the show about food, fun places, and the mayhem of life. Ha ha! Kim said, oh yeah, we got some good stuff coming. So if you're not on Twitch, if you have not signed up for your free Twitch account, do it now. Sign up, get yourself a username. Come on like Kim and Kathleen and Natasha. Oh, that's nasty. OMG, sounds like the show is mothered. Yeah, this is crazy sauce. So come on over to Twitch, because we have to say goodbye to our friends on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all the rest of the social medias, because we're headed on over to Twitch for International Women's Day today. Have a great International Women's Day. Thank you so much for being part of the Tyler Glen Show on a Wednesday. I can't believe it's time to say goodbye already. But for our social media friends, that's exactly what we have to do. And we'll do TikTok first. They're gone. And next up, we'll say goodbye to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Have an awesome